There is something that is in Canadian tradition called the debt clock, and the picture of it is coming right back up, and it's an important part of Canadian democracy. Jay Goldberg is with the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, and he joins me right now. But before then, speaking of debt and being paid, please subscribe, because we are paid by the government to say what the government wants. We call it like it is, and Jay calls it like it is. And let me ask you about this. You just got back to your home from a tour with this debt clock.
Yeah,
so what do you do?
It's basically a giant U-Haul truck with a huge digital screen, one on each side, showing what the debt is and how it's going up in real time. We've had a debt clock for more than 2 decades. The original debt clock was a trailer. It only had enough slots for billions, so when Trudeau got us into the trillions, we had to get a new one, which has a digital clock, which is going to protect us no matter where those numbers go in the future, although we're doing everything we can to get those numbers down.
Well, the numbers are huge, and so you go around to, I know you weren't in Buckhorn, but you were in Peterborough. And,
we were.
And just, what kind of reaction do you get from people?
You know what? There's a lot of gratefulness and a lot of, I think, despair from a lot of people. People are really grateful that we're bringing attention to the issue of the debt. I mean, when you tell them, for example, that Ontario's debt is going up by $768 a second, that the federal debt is going up by more than $1,000 a second, people are concerned, and a lot of folks are worried about their kids and grandkids. They're really grateful we're bringing attention to the issue, but they're really disappointed or really concerned that there's a lot of folks out there that just don't know what the debt is, and they don't know what the implications are. Federally, we're spending more on debt interest than healthcare this year. Okay, that's the implications of all the debt that's been racked up.
And our Minister of Finance says the Canadian economy is exalted world round for being so well run. And what about the parliamentary officer? He's got some good news coming up.
The parliamentary budget officer is saying now that under the current Trudeau plan, you won't have a balanced budget till 2040, and that's if they don't increase spending. And between now and then, you could see more than $800 billion worth of debt interest payments between now and then. That's more than the entire federal budget this year. So think of that. That's almost $1 trillion in debt interest payments. That's out the window. That's to bondholders on Bay Street. That's not going to healthcare. That's not going to lower taxes.
Nothing productive.
No, you're lighting money on fire, essentially. And it's just snowballing because of this government's massive debt increase.
And so, and it's not all going to the CBC, I know that. But I mean, really, do you think that people, Canadians, should be, well, I'm sure you say they should be more aware. Are they becoming more aware of this issue?
They are, because I think people are starting to connect massive government spending, massive money printing, inflation, high interest rates. And so when people are feeling the squeeze in their own lives, they want more money in their pockets, and they find out that the feds aren't doing that, and instead they're blowing a ton of money on debt interest and deficits. So people are very frustrated, and they want to change.
And they see the money going to bonuses for people, and they say, well, I don't even get paid that as much as that bonus.
Yeah, look, $70,000, most people don't get $70,000.
You're absolutely right. Jay, thank you very much for pointing this out. Thanks for going on tour. 3 minutes. To those of you who have subscribed and donated, a heartfelt thank you. You're keeping us on the air. If you're watching and you haven't, please try to do so, because 4 years ago, we started this show because there needed to be independent analysis. Now more than ever, with the Online Harms Act. Once that gets into law, it's been passed once by the House, there are going to be hundreds of bureaucrats censoring the news in Canada, censoring this show. We need to keep it on the air. Thanks for your support.